I post 5 to 10 times a day. So I know that they're seeing me every single day. So even though I didn't sign them up today, trust me, I'm gonna sign them up, whether it's tomorrow or in 6 months.
Is there anything that's out there trolling the internet that you would like to debunk today? Is there a myth out there, a credit myth or a funding myth?
Y'all got enough tape? Regardless of your background, you can take whatever you're going through in life right now, wherever you're at, and you can say, well, this happened to me, and this is why I'm not where I'm at. But you know what? We're all adults. Right. You can't continuously use that as a crutch. You know, I can say, hey, my mom passed away. You know, my dad was a dope dealer, and this is why I'm not successful. That has nothing to do with it. That's on you. Then I spend about 20 to 30 minutes of role playing with the team every single day, Monday through Friday. I never miss. And that's what happens, is the consistency. As a boss and as a leader, if you're not showing up, how can you expect them to show up?
If you're looking to be able to scale your credit repair or funding business to $100,000 a month, this is the episode for you to tune into. The guest that I have with me today, he's doing over $150,000 a month, $50,000 a month. My guy to the right here is about to give you guys so much game. So it doesn't matter where you're watching, if it's on YouTube, if you're listening on Spotify, if you are on any other of your listening devices, Patreon or Apple Music, stay all the way to the very end, because today is something that you do not want to miss.
Let's get it. I'm ready, man. Thank you for having me, bro.
Absolutely, brother. This one's a pleasure, man.
I'm excited.
You guys already know how this goes. This is the next episode of Double Down Podcast with DeAndre Whitson. Everything that I do, you guys know where to find me at DVN Consultations. And if you've been rocking with me for a while, you already know how I go. The last episode is the last episode. The next episode is the next best episode. And the guest I have with me today is going to match that and far exceed maybe anyone I've ever had with me. My guy with me today is Rob the Credit Guy. Go ahead, Rob. Introduce yourself and let them know who you are, man.
I appreciate you, man. Listen, what I do is I help people and I change their lives, and that's not an understatement. I've been able to take people that are making $5,000 to $10,000 a month in their credit repair business, and now they're doing $50,000 to $100,000 a month consistently every single month, and it continues to grow. What I do is not impossible. You just have to be coachable. So that's why you're watching this right now. So make sure as you're watching this, not only is this going to be entertainment, but make sure you grab your notepad and your pen, take notes. Most importantly, don't just finish watching it. Make sure you execute.
Woo, that was fire. I want to get right into it, man. Off screen, you told me that you were doing $150,000 a month, man.
Yep.
Please talk to me about that. Let the people know, how is this? First, is this legal? $150,000 a month, brother?
Yeah,
Come on now.
Yeah, it definitely is, man.
Okay, cool.
One thing I don't do is I don't play in the gray area.
There we go.
This is why we've been in business for over 15 plus years, is because we always operate with good morals and ethics. You always want to deliver what you say you're going to do.
Right.
You know, the credit repair industry, it has a stigma of, oh, it's a scam and all of this. Yeah, I get it, because there's a lot of people who mislead. There's a lot of people who exaggerate, and you don't have to exaggerate. You don't have to lie, man. Like, when you do things right, it's all going to work out.
Absolutely.
You know? So,
no, I hear that, and I agree with that 100%. You actually touched on something you glossed over, and I don't know if the people truly picked it up. You said if you run and you base your company and as well as yourself off your morals and your values.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I remember when I very first got in it. This is funny that you even said that, brother. I've never shared this with the audience before. I've never shared this with anyone other than my wife. I remember when I got started in the game, I went and I tried to go find my mentor, right? Mm-hmm. I thought I found the one. I got on a call with him, and he actually told me something that I'll never ever forget, and I'm gonna let you. This guy told me, leave your values and your morals in a box at the door. And we were on a Zoom call.
You gotta go deeper on that.
Bro,
okay, yeah.
I'm trying. Rob, we were sitting on the call, right? And I was telling him how I got my start. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I started off as an intern and learned the credit space, repaired my own credit. Obviously, was able to start my own credit repair and funding company. Obviously, you know what I mean? Took friends and family along the way, right? Mm-hmm. And I was looking for my mentor, like I said. I thought I found this dude, reached out to him, we hopped on a consultation call, and I asked him a question about how do you feel about saying no to funding clients? And I asked him this.
Okay.
And the way I looked at it, our community, and I'm gonna just be real, they're not used to getting the opportunity to have 50, 60, 70, 85, $250,000 line of credit, right?
Yeah.
Or $75,000 chase card. So for me, ethically, my morals and my values, like I'll sit with the customer or the potential client, and if they're not ready, like here, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And I let this guy know before he was my mentor, and he literally told me, no, put your morals and your values in a box at the door. If you're gonna rock with me, we get money here. And dog, that right there, I was like, is this space for me? I just can't move like that. So that was, I took a huge pivot and I moved completely different than a lot of other people in this space. I honestly turned down more money than I make money because it just doesn't fit me, my brand, how I want to work. So for you to say that right off the bat, I knew we vibed, I knew we connected.
You got to be able to sleep at night, man. Now, I mean, I believe that number one, not all money is good money.
There it is.
And you know, you could create yourself a good business, but if you accept all money, you could also create entitled clients and also nightmare clients. You could set yourself up for chargebacks. You could set yourself up for bad reviews and bad, you know, like BBB reviews because you're taking on the right client.
Right.
So you have to be okay with turning people down because they have to operate at your standards and what you want, right? I know it's your business and you're offering a service, but in the same token, again, you just can't do business with everybody. Like for example, if you get somebody a business loan and they have a 55% interest rate, you're like, you gotta think about, man, would you give somebody a loan that you wouldn't even take yourself, right? That's how I look at it. Would I take this deal? Is this a good deal for me?
Right.
But also there is a fine line, and I kind of know where maybe that mentor, and I'm not taking his side, but what I'm saying is if you lay everything out to the client and say, hey, these are the stipulations, are you okay with this? You're not like hiding anything. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
If you're not like, as long as you disclose all of what the agreement looks like, what for funding, what the payment arrangement is gonna be like, hey, are you in a financial position to even pay this back?
There it is.
Right? Really have a real one-on-one. Take your sales hat off and talk to him man to man.
There it is.
You know, as somebody who really genuinely cares and say, hey, this deal doesn't look the best. I don't even know if I would take this, but I'm not you. So what does this look like in your business? Do you really think you would be able to take this on? Because if you can, hey, let's sign on a dotted line.
Right.
If you feel like there's a doubt you can't do it, then I'm not gonna feel comfortable either.
I love it.
So I feel like if you explain it to them like that, you take your hands off and you say, hey, I gave you the wheel and you decided to drive. That's on you after that. We're all adults.
Okay.
So that's how I feel about that.
No, and I think if he would have expressed himself like that, I could have been more okay.
Yeah.
But for him to tell me the very first time, you know, I was just like, hey,
that sounds gray area. You know what I'm saying?
Gray area for me. I was like,
just close the deal, make the money.
Literally, any and everybody.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? This is how we get to where we want to get to. And I was just like, dude, you're setting people up for failure out here. So nonetheless, that wasn't my mentor. I went with someone completely different. But you know what I mean? It changed my entire perspective.
But you said something that was really important about, again, I come from nothing, right? You know, my dad was a dope dealer. You know, at 7 years old, I literally seen kilos of cocaine. And so I learned mattress money. I didn't learn nothing about credit. I didn't learn anything about that. And so a lot of my family members, my friends, including myself, for us to have $20,000, we're like, we're rich. You know, $20,000 was a lot of money back then. So when you get people alone where they have maybe a similar background and they've never dealt with money like that, that can make them reckless.
Okay.
You know, because in their mind, they're like, man, I got this business plan. Well, hold on, I just got that 50K credit card, man. Let's put a down payment on a Lambo.
There you go.
And you're like, hold on, that's not what we discussed, man.
Right.
So, you know, I get it, man. But again, when it comes to like business funding, you as a professional want to lay everything out, help them, you know, and I feel like this is going over and above.
Right.
Help them try to say, okay, what kind of plan do you have with the money?
I like
That's one of the things that I do with business funding. When I'm talking to a client, let's say they want to open up a trucking business, a barbershop, or whatever. I'm like, okay, well, I know you have that idea, but do you have it mapped out?
Okay.
Like, once you get this 100 grand, what are you gonna do with it?
I like that.
And even though, again, that's on them, whatever they decide to do.
Yeah.
But I want to make sure I'm talking to someone that's level-headed, and I'm, again, helping someone elevate their life and their business,
Right.
not putting them into a position where they're going to be reckless.
No, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, you know.
And I know this obviously is a business podcast. I know we're here to talk about scaling and growing, obviously, your credit repair business. But you said something in there where who your dad was, what you were used to on a everyday basis growing up, right?
Yeah.
You said you weren't familiar with credit. So how did this Rob get shaped? How did you get into the credit space? Or what was your welcome to credit moment? Because that kid that you just described shouldn't be sitting here with me today and about to educate the masses, brother.
I should have made it past 30, you know what I'm saying? But with all the things that I've seen, you know, you can take, regardless of your background, you can take whatever you're going through in life right now, wherever you're at, and you can say, well, this happened to me, and this is why I'm not where I'm at. But you know what? We're all adults. Right. You can't continuously use that as a crutch. You know, I could say, hey, my mom passed away. You know, my dad was a dope dealer, and this is why I'm not successful. That has nothing to do with it. That's on you. You know what I'm saying? So you got to take whatever you're going through and say, okay, I'm going to use this to motivate me and to mold me into a better person and be better than my parents and to be better than my current circle. Absolutely. You know, so for me, that's where I always knew, I'm going to be blunt, I always knew better that I was better than where I came from.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that.
You know why? Because my mindset was bigger. Right. I'm like, bro, there's got to be more to life than just this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I grew up in a 2-bedroom house.
Okay.
Bro, I don't even know if they make those anymore.
I've never heard of it. Honestly, you said 2-bedroom. I expected you to say apartment.
Yeah. So
I've never seen a 2-bedroom house.
Bro, it's crazy. So, yeah, but it was wild. So again, I looked at that and I'm just like, man, there's got to be more to life. And so I taught myself about credit, and that's really what changed my life, man. And I feel like a lot of people who start a credit repair business is because they didn't know about credit.
100%.
And then they fixed their own credit, and that's pretty much what I did. And I was like, wow, I was able to buy a car with no money down.
There it is.
You know, and when I had bad credit, I couldn't even get an apartment. Forget about buying a house. I was living in the hood, I wanted to get out of the hood, and I couldn't even do that because of bad credit. Right. So I realized, man, okay, this is life-changing.
Yeah.
And so when I realized the power that it gives you when you have good credit,
absolutely,
I was like, man, you know what? I got to share this gift.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I really do, because I was like, if it changed my life, I need to educate people. Because if God gives you a gift and you have a talent, you got to understand that gift is not for you. That gift is for you to help other people. And within that, then you'll be blessed. You know, that's really what I believe.
That was powerful. You want to know that it's funny that you just said that, but this is normally you. And I know this because obviously I've seen you from a bird's eye view for a really long time, right, on social media. And you are different. You move completely different in such a way of, you give away so much value. Yeah. Even the first conversation, brother, that you and I personally had, you just spoke life into me off a whim. You know what I mean? Like, this is the first time we ever shook hands, locked into each other's eyes like that, and you just breathe life into me. But I've seen you do that online for such a long time. This is naturally who you are. Yeah. You are, like you said, like an educator. Where did that come from? Or not even that. Where does this belief and this confidence of giving away the value to the public, to the masses, before you even have them as like a client, or you even hop on a call? Like, I'm gonna be real. If you just watch your Instagram, bro, you could fix your own credit. You can go get the bag on the business side. You could start your own. You give that away for free.
That's the goal.
There's not a whole lot of people in this space that do what you do. Like, where does that come from?
Yeah. I have a giving heart, you know, and I have to give credit to my wife, because if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have even started my coaching program. I started coaching for free. You know what I'm saying? And so
I believe you.
So when you're coaching and mentoring people for free, it's very time consuming. It's also very taxing.
Yeah.
And I'm an emotional person.
Right.
So you know, I started to realize that sometimes I was coaching and mentoring people that I wanted them to win more than they wanted to win. You know what I'm saying? And so she's like, hey, you're taking away time from your family you should be getting paid for this.
Right.
Not only for your time, but you're changing people's lives. You're making people help them make $10, $20, $30, $50,000 a month, and you're not even charging them.
Right.
You know, so I realized, I was like, you know what? I should be charging for this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because then what happens is, it started off with me just helping and giving and being a loving person, but then what happens is you get caught up with what I call as vampires. They're just sucking your energy out. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, man, this is exhausting.
Yeah.
And so you should understand your time is very valuable.
Right.
You know, and also I have 15 plus years of experience, and I'm helping people fast track their business. I don't want to say overnight, but within a few months, literally.
Really?
And technically that is overnight, because it took me 15 plus years to get to where I'm at.
Yeah.
And so I'm able to get people a lot faster.
Right.
And so when it comes to the social media part, when you're like, hey, why do you give out so much value? The way I sell is, how can I tell you to do something? I gotta lead from the front. And I need to be able to give you something,
right,
so that way you can apply it. You didn't even pay me for this information, but I'm trying to give you enough sauce for you to go out and make money. So that way you can take what I teach you for free, go out and make money, and you come back and be like, you know what else does this guy know that I don't?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's my philosophy is, and even if I have people that follow me, like I met people last night at the My Free Score Now event.
There we go.
Hey man, I've been following you for 5 years. I want you to know, like I'm at where I need to be because of you. And these people never even paid me $1, right? And I'm like, damn, like, thank you. I don't look at that and say, damn, you should have paid me something.
Yeah.
Because you know what, God's gonna bless me no matter what.
Right.
And he has. Tenfold.
Yeah.
So I just truly believe the more that you give in this world, the more you're gonna get.
Right.
Without even asking for it. That's just
Right.
how, whatever you believe in, whether it's God, the universe, whatever it is, when you give, you're always gonna receive. That's just what it is, man.
100%.
Yeah.
And I'll just let you know, brother, next time that you're at an event and someone pulls you to the side and they tell you, I'm at where I'm at today because you gave me something free, be like, replay that real quick, grab the phone, and live testimonial. They got to give you something.
Oh yeah,
Bro, I'm not kidding you, bro. You give away so much, and that's why I wanted to connect with you. Like, we've been trying to set this up for a while now, but I was like, he's just different. Like, there's certain people in this space, and honestly, it's the OGs in the game. I'll be real. Like, there's levels to it. You know what I mean? And you really look at the OGs in the game. There is no, the word is slipping my mind. When you keep something, what is
like
that?
A gatekeeper.
There we go.
Everybody wants to be a gatekeeper. Most coaches and mentors, you know what they want to do? They want to help you be successful, but they don't want you to be more successful than them.
Ding, ding,
and that's
ding.
the opposite with me.
Right.
I truly pray that with all the information that I give you, that I want you to be more successful than me. You know why? And I say this very selfishly, is I want you to brag and say, hey, you know what? Again, I'm at where I'm at because I went through Rob the Credit Guy and he helped me get to this level, and now look where I'm at. So that's my intentions is, again, we have 6 kids, and I want my 6 kids to hear, hey, your dad changed my life. To me, that's worth more than any money than people could ever pay me.
Absolutely.
So it's more about really building a legacy.
Yeah.
That's really what I'm trying to build, man.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
So in this entrepreneurial world that we're in, you're talking about, obviously you brought in your wife. She made you the salesman, the coach that you are today, because you wouldn't even have that vision, right? So big shout out to your wife for even.
Amen. Choose wisely, because your wives, they're gonna help you elevate or they're gonna keep you down. So right there, that's a big nugget.
Hey, that's gonna be the most viral clip of this whole thing.
Let's go.
There. That was powerful. Okay, so shout out to your wife for adding more value to you, right? Another sector in your company. But you've also talked about your faith. You've also talked about your children. So dive in a little bit, man, because this world could consume you, swallow you, and spit you out. This entrepreneurial world, brother, people don't understand, and this may sound weird when I say it, the luxury of having a 9-to-5, people don't understand that. People don't truly understand how blessed they are to have a 9-to-5.
Yeah.
And this may sound weird, right? Coming from 2 entrepreneurs and 2 people that own their own business.
Yeah.
When you choose to leave your 9-to-5, you leave everything behind you. Yeah. The constant paycheck, the medical, the dental, the vision,
the safety,
the 2 weeks of the PTO. there's in your company, right? There's an HR team, there's a customer service department, you know what I mean? But when it's you, dog, you're wearing 75 hats, bro.
Yeah.
You are sales, you are customer service. You are, when you need to put out a fire, you're putting out a fire, but there's a bigger fire over here. You know what I mean?
Correct.
So this world is not for everyone. And anyone watching this episode, I hope that they understand that and take this. And I'm not saying don't start your own business,
Correct.
but if you could shed a little bit of light, brother, like you said, you've been at this for 15 years. You also are a husband. You're also a father of 6 children. You also are a personality, right? You're also an educator. You wear so many hats. How do you find the time and even the energy to balance it all? Or are you juggling it? And some days obviously take more, but let the people know, like, this is what it looks like before you start this race.
Number one, the most important thing as an entrepreneur, being an entrepreneur is not for everybody. Because a lot of people want to talk about the money, the cars, all the bells and whistles, the material stuff.
Right.
But I want you to know that comes later. that doesn't happen right away. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I had to work 3 jobs, in order to decide financially, okay, I can become an entrepreneur.
Wow.
And so I made deliveries, I sold insurance. Man, I was doing really 3 jobs is really a lie, to be honest, because I did everything. But I had 3 steady jobs that I did. And when I started making about 15 grand a month, that's when I decided to say, okay, let me go all in on the credit repair.
Right.
But that was a season where I had to figure everything out. And mind you, this is 15 plus years ago. So there was no coaches, there was no mentors, there was no fast track to get to your business. So I failed a lot, and with that, you have to understand, like he said, you're also a husband, you're a dad. So there was a lot of people want to talk about work-life balance.
Yeah.
There is no such thing as work-life balance.
No such thing.
This is the way I explain it and the way I understand it is there's seasons in your life where you're going to be overworked and underpaid, but in the same token, as long as you consistently stay on that path, you will make that money that you want. I feel like people give up too soon when it's really about to take off for them.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
They're like, it gets too hard.
Yep.
That's why, again, being an entrepreneur is not for everybody.
No.
It's all about your mindset. Another thing that's really important is I did not have a plan B.
Ooh.
There was no plan B for me.
Say that again.
There was no plan B. So working those 3 jobs, I knew that I had to do a lot of shit that I didn't want to do. You think I wanted to work 12, 14, 15, 16 hours a day at a job that I didn't even want to be at?
Right.
And meanwhile, my mind was selling credit and being an entrepreneur and living this lifestyle.
Yep.
Like, you have to be able to see it when it's not even in front of you. And I feel like that's where a lot of people, they give up. They can't see past what's right in front of them.
Right.
And that's called faith.
Yeah.
That's what faith is. You have to have faith in yourself.
Over everything.
Right? Especially when things are not going your way, right? And you got your friends and your family member, hey man, how's that little business going? Bro, that just gave me, I'm almost getting angry just talking about it. How's that little business, how's that little podcast going, man? It's like, really?
Really?
And then, but now this is what happens. Use that as fuel to make you to really work harder, and then you know what's going to happen is there's going to come a day. Hey, can I hop on your podcast?
They want to be on it.
Hey, are you hiring?
Yep. Yep.
So
can you teach me?
Can you teach me? Hey, how'd you do that, man? Hey, I was believing in you the whole time.
Right.
No, you weren't.
Not at all.
No, you weren't.
Not at all.
But this is what I do. I don't get salty. That's number one. I don't never get salty, because you know what? Don't be mad at people that didn't see your vision, because God gave you the vision. He didn't give them the vision.
There it is.
So you got to continue on your path, stay with your alignment, stay in your journey, and then trust me, you'll turn everybody into believers. But if you give up now, that'll never happen. So it really comes down to mindset, man. Mm-hmm. Really, you have to have a strong mindset.
You have to.
There was a point where, and this is the first time I think I'm ever really talking about this. I was homeless. You know what I'm saying? I was sleeping on my friend's couch, and my ex-wife at the time, she was sleeping in another room with my kids.
Yeah.
And as a man, I'm like, what am I doing, bro? And so when people ask me, like, matter of fact, I was on my Tuesday call that I do a coaching call every Tuesday, and they were like, who was it? Treasure. Shout out to Treasure. She asked me, she said, what motivates you? And I was like, I wasn't expecting that. Like, this was a coaching call. What I'm saying? She was like, totally caught me off guard.
Yeah.
And so I answered it. And then the whole night, bro, I was thinking about it.
Okay.
I was like, man, you know those questions that are sometimes like get deeper sometimes, then I'm like, this is what really motivates. And really, it took me back to being homeless.
Okay.
It took me back to not living the way I want. Right. And that's what you have to think about. Those days that you don't feel good, you don't feel like it. We're not always, as an entrepreneur, we don't always want to go to work. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're working from home. You know, your home is your work, you know?
Yeah.
And so you have to look at it. And what motivates me is looking at my bank account.
Okay.
And being
That's
like, yo,
powerful.
like I'm working hard, but it's negative right now.
Got it.
You know?
Yeah.
So I look at that every single day. You know, so it's my bank account that motivates me, is being in a position of not being able to provide for my kids as a husband, as a father.
Right.
You know, that motivates me.
Absolutely.
And I just, because I've been through that, I'm not saying you have to be homeless to have motivation, but what I'm saying is that you have to look at your certain circumstances, and are you okay with it? Because nobody in this life can change you except for you.
Absolutely.
And so I say use that as motivation.
Yep. No.
So for me, that's what motivates me.
I was in a similar situation, not the homeless aspect, but my motivation to level up in life and actually step out on faith, like you said, for my entrepreneurial journey is when I found out that my fiance at the time was pregnant. And I was like, and then we were having a daughter on top of that. So I was like, whoa, not only are you about to step into this new role of being a husband, which I've never seen it, right? I've never seen it physically done successfully. So this is new. There's no mentor in my life like to tell me, right? My mom and dad weren't married. So this is first. And then being a present dad, you know what I mean? I would be the first to do that because my mom and my dad split. I went with my mom, you know what I mean? So I'm the first to do that as well. And then we're all boys. So I would be the first girl dad also. So everything was new and I was just like, this is it.
You went out and bought the guns, the bats.
Hey, you know it. She can clean it now. Yeah. She can hold it. You know what I mean?
We got 4 girls, 2 boys. I already know.
Is.
Yeah. So.
Absolutely. That right there is the biggest motivator. And you said something earlier that picking the right one, and that's male or female, right? If you're picking your husband, pick the right one. It's important. If it's your wife, pick the right one. It's important. And that's not even like they have to be same mindset or similar, right? Or at the same level. It's actually refreshing sometimes. Like I remember before my wife was in this with me, right? Being able to vent and her not at all knowing or challenging me, right? Like to be like, well, you know, you coulda, or how come you didn't go to this institution? Like now those are the conversations we have and I appreciate it now because we get to the bag. But sometimes it was nice when I just got to vent and her just soothed me. You know what I mean? So, and like you said, your wife was actually gave you the idea to like, hey, this is another avenue, you know what I mean, to level up. You're absolutely right, man. This episode has gone completely different area that I thought it was going to go, but I feel like this is the way that,
but it's authentic.
This is how it's supposed to
I want you guys to know this is real. But I want to touch on this subject because I feel like a lot of men, in relationships, not just men, but I feel like a lot of relationships struggle when maybe one is an entrepreneur and the other one is not. Touch on right? And this is where communication is so important because, and I'm speaking to the men right now, okay? Because a lot of us, we get that ego. We start beating on our chest. Well, I'm doing this for us, and I'm making money I'm working overnight for us. Right. But you know what the problem is, men? Is that you're not communicating with your wife and you're not really truly being transparent about what your goals are, what your ambition is, what is the monthly goal, what is the yearly goal, what is the next 5 years gonna look like. You're not laying everything out. And so because she feels like she's in the dark and you're not communicating, she doesn't understand the vision, she doesn't understand the dream. And to be honest with you, even if she's not your business partner, she's your partner in life. And so you have to communicate with that. And I feel like that's why a lot of marriages, they don't succeed when one's an entrepreneur and one's not. Because like, hey man, the wife is always like, hey, I don't get to see you. Well, maybe you should communicate what you're doing. Right? Or maybe if, like for example, we came to this My Free Score Now event. Bring them along. Right? Who's with me? My wife. Absolutely. Right? You know what I'm saying? So make sure she tags along. So even if she's not necessarily involved in a day-to-day basis, she can at least see, oh, this is what you're a part of. This is the world. Right? Make your spouse, right, whether it's your husband or your wife, make them feel included. Because if they don't feel included, then that's where the problem really does happen. That's where. You're absolutely right. That is
I feel like that was the biggest thing. Same type of journey, same thing for me in life is you start to become a little bit successful. You get these opportunities, right, to get inside these rooms, to go travel these different places, these different speaking events, and you spoke on it. Your ego goes through the roof as a man.
It can.
You know what I mean? And at home, she knows, dog, you don't even wipe right. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't nothing.
I go home, I'm not Rob the Credit Guy, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's different.
You still have the same Fruit of the Loom, holy underwear, brother. I watched them. She does not care that you were on that stage tearing the roof off and 75 people waited in line for your photo.
Yeah.
She don't care?
Yeah.
So communication is huge, and just opening up that world, bringing them into it, right? Even if they don't understand it at the super high, incredible level, because they can see you're passionate about it, they're going to, you know what I mean? Get involved. And the transparency, I think, is the biggest key that you're talking about. For a relationship to go on, especially with an entrepreneur and a non-entrepreneur, because you kind of have to reassure them that this is going to work, this is going to do it, you know what I mean? Because they're not the visionary, you know what I mean?
Correct.
So they have to step out on another element of faith to be like, okay, I'm going to take the back seat. I may even retire from my 9 to 5. Because they're gonna go get it. You know what I mean?
Correct.
And if you're not informing them of what this looks like, just imagine how scary that would be, being in the dark and quitting your job. You know what I mean? So your transparency, man, like, that's huge.
Especially making investments. Why'd you spend $1,000?
Come on now.
Why'd you spend, you know, so again, it's super important, you know? And let's kind of make a turn real quick on like investments, right? What does it look like for a lot of these people that want to start a credit repair business? One of the things that I loved about starting a credit repair business is I started it when I was dead broke.
Wow.
So I didn't have no money. You know, I didn't have funding, okay? I didn't have 10, 20, 30, I had no money, literally no money. And so all I knew is, okay, I could start with a software.
There we go.
And when I started with a software, I knew how to fix credit, right? I had to teach myself, right? YouTube University.
There it is.
Shout out to YouTube.
Shout out.
YouTube University. And I had to teach myself. Again, no coach, no mentor. Just like cold turkey, just figuring it out. Because that's what we do as entrepreneurs. We just figure it out. And so really a lot of this stuff I was just like kind of self-taught, you know? So you need a software to start. The other thing is you need to find, okay, how do I get leads? So like most of you guys watching who are just starting your business, or who have already started, you start with your friends, your family members. And you know what? I didn't stop there. If I was in Starbucks and McDonald's or anywhere, I was somehow, some way, I was trying to pitch people in the restaurant. Like, that's the kind of person you have to be. And then I realized, man, there's got to be a smarter way because, for real, because you can't get rich off your friends and your family. You just can't. Right? And so after that, I was like, you know what? Let me start posting on Facebook. And I think even back then, there might even still been MySpace, right?
There we go.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
you've been in this
so it was like Facebook, MySpace, and Instagram. And then before really posting and viral was viral, I was trying to go viral, and I didn't even know what that word was back then. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I started generating leads. But it really took off for me when I started running paid ads. You know, when I started running paid ads, that's when it really created consistency in my business. Because again, you could get 5 referrals today from a friend or a family member, but then tomorrow or the next day, you're just is dry. You're not making no money. You know what I'm saying? And so that's when I realized, man, paid ads is really where it's at. So I've spent like till this day, I spent going on almost $300,000 on ads. And I'm gonna tell you, I don't say that to brag, because there's a lot of failures in that. And I spent a lot of money to try to figure it out. So there was a lot of tweaking that I had to do until I got it really perfected to where now when I run an ad, it's guaranteed to give me leads and I'm closing deals.
There's a video that actually, at least, I don't know if it went viral for you, but it's viral in my head, where you were speaking to your audience about 80% of the time of you working in your business needs to be on something that's going to generate you revenue. That was powerful for me. Can you speak on that? Because I don't think a lot of people truly understand there's so much time wasting you could do in your business.
You know why I talk about that? And in a reel, we only have, this is not long form content, you know, like this, right?
Yeah.
And so in the reel, you have 60 seconds. So I'm glad you brought that up so I can elaborate.
Go ahead, man.
What I mean by focus on income producing activities, and I know I'm speaking to somebody right now, is you're worried about what color brand you're gonna create. You're worried about your business cards, what you're gonna put on it. Oh, I don't have a website. I'm gonna tell you right now, you're overthinking, and I'm not saying it's not needed, but it's not needed, right? Focus on making money first. I don't care how good your website is, people are not buying your website, they're buying you. And so you have to make the money first. Focus on income producing activities, especially if you're starting your business like me. When I was broke, I couldn't even afford a website. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
matter of fact, the first like 2 years, I didn't have a website.
Wow.
So I ran a whole business not even having a website. Why? Because you know what I'm doing? I'm building relationships. When you focus on building relationships, you close more deals. And what do I mean specifically by relationships? I'm picking up the phone and calling people, right? I met somebody yesterday where she's like, oh, I'm texting people and I don't know why they're not signing up. I'm like, bro, because you're not picking up the phone.
Yeah.
Like, you expect somebody to give you their social, their driver's license, you have their whole life in their hands, and you want to sign these people up through text? The fact that you're not picking up the phone makes that person feel like they're not important, or you're a scam, or you're not a legitimate company.
Right.
Because when you call a big credit repair company, they're gonna pick up the phone, right?
Absolutely.
So this is a quote that I love and I live by. The biggest mistake that a small business can make is thinking like a small business. You have to start thinking like a big business.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
So really 80% of your day needs to be focused on picking up the phone, or if you're door to door, hey, I don't trust door to door no more because you might, hey, you need to fix your credit, you might get shot, be careful. So pick up the phone, don't be shy. And really focus on reaching out to clients, following up, because you may not make the deal on the first call. You may have to follow up, right? And so you gotta make sure that you're picking up the phone and just really focus on building a relationship and closing the deals. The other 20%, you could deal with on your own.
Yeah, the colors, business cards.
That's it. That comes later. All the fancy, all the bells and whistles, that comes later.
That's on a slow day.
Yeah, because another reason why I say that too is because people spend a good website will cost you thousands of dollars.
Absolutely.
So now you're $2,000 in on a website.
Yep.
You got a domain. You got all this other stuff. You might be $5,000 in, and you haven't even made $1 yet.
Not one.
How about you make some money and then go get the fancy website, the business card? You know what? I've been doing business for over 15 years. People ask me for business cards all the time. Hey, you got a business card? Nope. What's your social media? You know why I give them my Instagram and my Facebook? Because now I know when they're following me, I'm following them back, and that's the best business card I could ever give them. And you know what? I post 5 to 10 times a day, so I know that they're seeing me every single day. So even though I didn't sign them up today, trust me, I'm gonna sign them up, whether it's tomorrow or in 6 months. They're gonna see me. You're gonna see me, I promise.
I know that's right.
For sure. That's how we do it, man.
Almost what, 400 days in the year, 5 times a day, 20,000 opportunities. Yeah, that's better than any business card. That's
absolutely
easy. This week you told me something that empowered me that I actually told you I'm going to implement for myself. Is you do something specific with your team every single day. Can you touch on that? Because maybe the person watching this doesn't have a team yet, right? But put it in their mind, right? That because you changed. I have a team and I don't even do this. But you made me look at it completely differently. So I want, if you're cool with sharing that.
Of course, absolutely. So one of the things that's extremely important is training every single day. And this is with your sales reps, your customer service reps, because think about it. I love sports, right? So what's your favorite sport?
Basketball, for sure.
Basketball. Who's your favorite basketball player?
Of all time?
Of all time.
Kobe.
Kobe. I love Kobe, right?
Yeah,
see, I'm a Kobe and a Jordan, so I can't even tell you which one.
Okay.
I'm leaning towards Mike, but you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, Kobe is an amazing player. Literally one of the greatest of all time, right?
Right.
How do you think he got there?
Work.
Through what? Through training.
Yeah, training. Practice.
Every single day,
Every day,
right?
Yeah.
You know, if you read up stories about Kobe, he was the first one in the gym and the last one to leave, right? And so if he's operating at an elite level as an athlete, as a professional in his industry, if you want to operate at an elite level, what do you think you should be doing?
Exact same thing.
Training every single day.
Right.
And this is where sometimes, again, your ego gets in the way. Well, I close deals and I do that. Okay, but you still have to sharpen your skills every single day. If you practice role playing just for 15 to 20 minutes every single day, Everybody has 15 to 20 minutes. If you do that every single day, do you think you will get better?
Absolutely.
Right? So the question is, why aren't you doing it, right? And this is where you got to think about even the deals that you closed. Think about where you could have done better. I feel like that's what a lot of people don't even think about. Well, I closed a deal, so I did enough.
Right.
Okay, yeah, you closed a deal, that's good, but what could you have done better? And when you are your worst critic and you're hard on yourself like that, that's when you really start operating at an elite level and you separate yourself from an average salesperson to an elite salesperson. And that's what I do with my team every single day. So for 1 hour, I don't train with them for an hour. What I do is the first 30 minutes is, let's say it's a Friday. Hey, yesterday was Thursday, team. How was your day? How many deals did you close? Okay, you closed 2 deals, but you didn't close the other 3 consultations. What happened with those? What kind of objections did you get? All right, let's role play. So the first 30 minutes of us is just kind of communicating with my team, right? Each person individually. And I have 19 employees. So I go through each one, so it takes time. And then after that, then I spend about 20 to 30 minutes of role playing with the team every single day, Monday through Friday. I never miss. And that's what happens, is the consistency. As a boss and as a leader, if you're not showing up, how can you expect them to show up? So when you really invest into your team, guess what happens? You're going to see the results in the company.
Man, and this one's personal for me because you're going to make me literally better at my company because I'm going to implement that exact method. Because do I have weekly calls? Absolutely. Every Monday we talk about the goals going forward for the week, and then Friday we talk about the hurdles that we ran into, and then what victories did we have for the week, right?
Yeah.
But do I jump on every single day and train with them? Absolutely not. But could that be a game changer for the rest of the company going forward? Absolutely.
Yeah.
What you said in there I like the most is the 15 to 20 minutes. Everyone has 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And right away what I thought about was you at least scroll on your phone 15 to 20 minutes a day, right? But let's say you are someone in our industry, right? Credit restoration, business funding, and you wanted to add another avenue to you, what your skill set and what you could be. If you took those 15 to 20 minutes and practice inside of the mirror, right? Now you could add a whole nother lane for yourself and a revenue stream of public speaker.
Yeah.
Because you practiced with you.
Correct.
So if that went over your head, I hope that y'all caught that. Please start to add that to your daily routine, because scrolling Instagram isn't going to get you better. Practicing by yourself to master speaking and speaking at a high level, because there's a complete difference of us having a one-on-one conversation, right?
Correct.
And then being able to have a conversation for the masses.
Correct.
And not being nervous.
Yeah.
But here's an even deeper level, right? You know you're great at what you do when you can make anybody digest what you're trying to get, what point you're trying to get across, right?
Correct.
You can have a conversation if you are a software engineer with another software engineer.
Correct.
That's incredibly easy.
You got to dumb it down.
Yeah.
You got to dumb it down for me. I don't know what you're talking about.
But if a software engineer can teach a 4th grader, that
Correct.
software engineer is going to the moon.
Correct.
Because you can make anyone understand your language. That right there is the separator, at least to me, right?
Yeah.
And what you said, that bing, 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 and off in my head, I was like, wow, that right there can change so many people within their own business if they just practice.
Yeah.
I love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you something, brother. Like, I could obviously feel your passion up here. Like I can feel you. Like
I love
when
it.
you
I love it,
speak.
man. Yeah.
I've already seen it online, but I can feel it. Where do you see this thing going, or what is your vision, or what is your goals? I know you want to, obviously, you said looking at your bank account inspires you, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But like, what do you see? Let's say 1 year, 5 years. Like, what is your goals? What's the dream? What's the vision here?
So when you say the money, I'm gonna answer this, but the money does motivate me.
Huge.
But I'm at the point where the money allows me freedom. That's why that's why when I say money motivates me, it's not necessarily the money. It's the money is the tool, the vehicle that's gonna allow me to have the freedom to go to my kids' dance recital, to go to their track. My son runs track, right? So I want to be able to take off of the work at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
When normally you have a 9 to 5, you couldn't do that. You want to take off? No, right? You can't do that, right? So I work for money, but I really am working for freedom. That's what I work for. And so where I see myself really in the next 5 years, man, is Number one, our credit repair company is constantly growing every single month, which is always nice.
Right.
It literally runs on, the word automation is thrown around so much on the internet, okay? So for y'all, oh, I want to automate my business. You know what I think? You know what I think you think? That you don't do shit when you have things automated, okay?
Right.
That's not what automated means, okay? You still have to manage your business because nobody's gonna manage and oversee your business better than you. Because nobody's gonna care about your business more than you, right? And so I've gotten to the point where our business, I just have to manage it. I'm not what I call as employee of the month. Every month in your own business. That's where a lot of you are, and that's okay. That used to be me. You got to get to the point where you're building a team and it's running on its own. So I have that. So that's why now I have the freedom to do the coaching, right? And that's really what I want. I want to be able to put you guys in a position to where you're managing your business and you're, like a lot of us say, you're working on the business rather than in the business. So that's really where my focus is headed now. And then on top of that, we own a tax software company. So even though I'm a credit specialist, I see that, man, this tax software business is life-changing. And that's where, hey, I'm now helping my wife, right? So she helped me with the coaching, and when you get blessed, you got to give back, right? Don't just be a vampire. Don't be a taker. You got to be a giver. So me and my wife as a team, we're really focusing on our tax software company. We're working on investments in DR. We're opening up a call center. So really in the next 5 years, man, there's a lot going on. But I'm gonna tell you, this all happened with not having a plan B, right? Going back to that, I only had a plan A. There was no failure. Failure was not an option. So I had to change my mindset. The other thing is you have to be consistent. Again, recapping, you have to, when you don't feel like doing it, do it anyway, right? Do it when people are not looking. Don't just do it for social media, right? Just because you got the cameras on, don't mean it's time to work. You got to work when the cameras are off, right? And another thing is you just, again, you have to, when the money gets good, continuously to invest. Right? When I made my first $100,000 month, I didn't go out and buy a Lambo. I wasn't irresponsible with my money. You know what I'm saying? I just kept reinvesting. And I feel that's where a lot of people fail. And that's why when we talk about the next 5 years, they can't even think about it because even though you're an entrepreneur, you're still living paycheck to paycheck because you're not reinvesting.
Absolutely.
So with me, I'm at the point where I make good money decisions now. And that's where I can see, okay, we're gonna have in a call center. So really in the next 5 years, man, sky's the limit. Like really, there's again, the tax software, the credit, the mortgages. So you just continuously build.
There it is. That was huge. I mean, that's your answer. That's the dream, to be able to say that you're gonna go have all these different avenues and invest in what, the DR?
And Dominican Republic, yeah. So all of our employees are either in Jamaica, Dominican Republic, Nigeria, the Philippines, and so because my wife is Dominican, I love DR. Even though I'm Puerto Rican, I'm like, hey, you know, I know y'all Puerto Ricans might hate me right now, but I love DR. Like, DR is where it's at, man. And so that's where we want, our vision in the next 10 to 15 years is to retire in DR. So as of right now, we're already, you know, matter of fact, in this December, so just a couple months, we're about to start looking at property and really planting our seeds for the next 5 to 10 years. So that's where we'll be.
There we go. Before we wrap this up, I always try to ask someone, if there's one thing in your industry, right? So credit restoration or funding, is there anything that's out there trolling the internet that you would like to debunk today? Is there a myth out there, a credit myth or a funding myth?
Y'all got enough tape?
Right. If there's one thing that you could stop when you get on a call, someone asks you, hey, I saw this on TikTok, I know mine. Do you have one that you want to try to say this credit myth it's a myth? Please stop.
So, all right. There's so much that we could talk about, but I'm gonna leave you with this. When it comes to coaching and mentoring, there's a lot of people out there that claim to be a real coach or mentor. They're gonna charge you $10, $20, $30, $40,000, but then a lot of the stuff that they teach is stuff that you can watch on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? Or they don't really spend the time to invest into you, and that's not real coaching or mentoring, you know? So when I coach and mentor someone, what I do is I share my screen. Like, I'm literally sharing my screen. I'm showing you my numbers. I'm showing you my back office. I'm showing you what my sales team does, how my customer service is set up. I'm literally extremely transparent, because as a coach and as a mentor, I have to be able to show you, not tell you, I have to be able to show you this is how it's done. And I feel like a lot of coaches and mentors, there's a lot of pretend gurus out there, and I don't even care to say names because they know who they are.
Man.
And I know because a lot of the people that pay me, they're like, hey, I paid such and such $10,000, $15,000, and bro, in the first week, you've already taught me more than what they taught me. And so I'm gonna tell you, choose wisely. Do not get distracted by all the fancy cars and mansions and parties and all of that. You know why? Because none of that shit is making you money. That's just a facade. So you really want to make sure when you invest into a coach or a mentor that they're really going to coach and mentor you.
That was the clip that's gonna go viral. You are about to just piss off a lot of people in our space because you changed the game with that one. Share your screen.
I share my screen. I show my numbers. As a matter of fact, in my coaching and mentoring, I guarantee there's nobody that's doing this right now.
Nobody.
Is number one. So I tell you and I give you my sales script, my exact sales script that I've used for over 10 years that my sales team is using every single day. And not only do I give you that script, because anybody can go to ChatGPT and say, hey, read this script, right? I recorded myself on Zoom calls with customers, and what I'm doing is I'm actually closing the deals using the same exact script that I'm giving you. So I literally perform live sales calls. That way you can see, wow, he's actually closing deals. He actually does what he says he's gonna do. He doesn't just drive a nice car or have a big house. Like, he actually does this for life.
Controversial. Not only did you're gonna have to defend yourself on the internet to your Puerto Rican brothers, now you gotta defend yourself, man, to all the internet gurus. Go ahead, man. Let the people know this podcast. I knew it was going to be fire. I didn't know how though, and you just blew it out of the water, man. This one is, I think, honestly, by far my favorite episode that I've ever had. I appreciate you for that one. Go ahead, talk to the camera. Let the people know where they can find you. Let the people know what you have going on in the future, brother. Take the time. Go ahead. Let them know.
Absolutely.
Everything.
And by the way, this won't be the last time.
No,
this is just the first of many. So I'm excited. By the way, if there's anything that you want us to talk about, anything that you want to know about me, drop it in the comments so that way next time we'll be like, hey, we got some questions. Let's talk about it. Let's make sure we drop more gems. But guys, if you're looking to scale and grow your credit repair business to $100,000 a month or more, I only want to work with people that are serious, that are motivated. So if that's you, you can go to robthecreditguy.com. You could also go to, on Instagram, you can go to robthecreditguy, and on Facebook, robthecreditguy. I make it real easy for you so that way you don't forget. And you see it on the hat.
Yeah, I know you do.
Always stay branded. That's another thing. Last thing, here's another tip. Whose brand should you be rocking? Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Jordan, I love all of that, right? I love a good pair of Jordans. Yeah. But you know what brand is the most valuable? Your own. So make sure you're always rocking your brand.
You heard it here, y'all. This was the latest episode of the Double Down Podcast. Again, I'm your host, DeAndre Woodson. DVN Consultations on YouTube and on Instagram. You guys know what to do with this episode. Honestly, for the algorithm to blow this up for more like-minded individuals and entrepreneurs like yourself. But honestly, this episode was a little bit different. So like, subscribe, and follow this one, and share it so much that the algorithm has to push it to non-like-minded individuals, because this one is different.
Yeah.
So those people need to see this one too. But as of today, that was it. Man, I appreciate you. Thank you so much,
I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, bro.
Dude, that one was
that was
fire.
Cheers,
man,
for sure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, man. Thank you for blessing me, for real.
No, thank you.